BNEI LEVI had three broad duties. One involved the dismantling, the transportation, and the reassembling of the Mishkan. A second involved providing musical accompaniment for the various korbanot that are offered in the Mishkan. And the third was Shmirah, so that a Zar should not trespass into the areas of the Mishkan for which there was a prohibition to do so. Included in the Shmirah was the responsibility that the avodah should not be performed by unauthorized individuals. In committing the SICHAH to print, the Rebbe was careful to provide sources for positions that he had presented. And footnote number 14 points us to the sources for the three categories of duties for which BNEI LEVI were responsible. The source for the Piruk, Masa and Hakama of the Mishkan comes from Perek Aleph of Sefer Bamidbar, V'yata hafked et ha-Leviim al Mishkan ha'idut. You, Moshe, are to appoint the Leviim over the Mishkan. Hema yisu'u et ha-Mishkan, vet kol keilav. They are the ones to transport the Mishkan and all the klei ha-Mishkan, the utensils connected to the Mishkan and the Avodah. And the Pasuk goes on to state that Ubinesoah ha-Mishkan, when the Mishkan needed to be moved from one location to another, Yoridu ato ha-Leviim, the Leviim were to dismantle it. Ubechanot ha-Mishkan, when the Mishkan encamps, Yakimu ato ha-Leviim. The Leviim had the responsibility for its erection. The Pasuk ends with a statement mentioned multiple times throughout Sefer Bamidbar, that V'hazar ha-Karev Yumat, the stranger, one who is unauthorized to enter and participate in the activities of the Mishkan, who does so, Yumat, shall be put to death, which Rashi defines as min hashamayim. This comes through God, not through the court system. Their responsibility for shir is not stated clearly in the text, but comes through a midrashic interpretation. To Bamidbar 447, this perek brings to a close the lengthy segment dealing with Shevet Levi. Firstly, the Pasuk defines the age limitations for BNEI LEVI in their service to the Mishkan. Those age limitations are ben 30 shana or maila, vad ben 50 shana, between the ages of 30 and 50. And these restrictions apply to kol haba la'avod avodat avodah, va'avodat masa ba'ohel moed. Ohel Moed referring to the Mishkan. Avodat Masa relates to the responsibility of dismantling, transporting, and erecting the Mishkan. The La'avod Avodat Avodah is quite puzzling, the raw translation of which is to perform the service of a service, or loosely translated as to perform an avodah that accompanies another avodah. And Rashi defines this avodah as providing the musical accompaniment for the avodah of the Kohen during the offering of the Karbanot. The third category is that of Shmirah. The textual source comes from Bamidbar Perek Aleph, Pasuk Nun Gimel, V'shamru ha-Leviim et mishmeret Mishkan ha'edut, that the Leviim have the obligation of guarding the Mishkan. Footnote 14 points us to another source, one found in Parashat Korach, which we shall look at shortly.